a kids YouTube channel. We'll see where that goes. I have been blogging since 2008. I started with a coupon blog. My blog turned into a reality show on TLC. If you've ever seen me couponing, I helped develop and promote that show. Was on the pilot of it, and really realized the power of video through that experience. My blog at one point reached over 500,000 people a month. On the coupon blog, it's since been sold. And we've been blogging on our new blog called One a Bite since 2012. It reaches almost 200,000 people a month. And socially, we have about 150,000 follow blogger cross channels. So not too bad. From an income standpoint, we're pretty transparent. We make last year in 2015, the blog grossed over $50,000. And this year we're on track to be at probably 6 figures. Brands are willing to pay for good content. How to make it. So we are passionate, my wife and I, about creating solid, good content that can be branded. We want our audiences to enjoy the content we create, and so it's something that we'll talk about. So today, we're going to primarily talk about video. I've spoken about SEO, I've spoken about Twitter. So if you have questions about some of that stuff, feel free to ask me. But this is a presentation I gave to Social Fabric University. It's part of Collective Bias. If you aren't familiar with Collective Bias, they do something called Shopportunities for bloggers that have a little bit of a social following. If you can sign up, and they will pay you anywhere from $150 to $700 to talk on a brand. Sometimes it's food brand, sometimes it's diaper brand, sometimes it's whatever it is. You can pitch the sort of the representatives, and they'll respond back to you. But so that's Social Fabric University, and I'll pull this up so you can see me. So a little bit about me. I started blogging in 2008 because my wife was spending a lot of money and had a lot of debt. And so, and so we set a budget and we stuck to it.
I'm surviving this to Lacey.
I know, she knows it too. So we set a budget, stuck to it, and as a part of that, we started using coupons. And so the blog grew and grew and grew because we were really writing good content for people that wanted to read it. It was extremely timely. It was a recession. It was, a lot of things were happening. And so I started doing videos because I realized that, video is a powerful way to connect to your audience, right? And like putting yourself on camera is a powerful way to tell a story, and it's a different way than just the written word. Our YouTube videos over the course of 5 years have over 1 million. And we have over 13,000 subscribers on YouTube. And so I really got passionate about trying to get a video audience. Over the course of 7 years, I left the blog full-time and now work like Heather at an ad agency. I lead digital thought at one of the largest ad agencies in town, we're about 75 people. I also work with bloggers, so I get to be on both sides. I get to work with the companies and then pay bloggers to create content for us, for some of our brands that we work with. So it's a kind of cool thing to see what the brands are looking for, what they're sensitive to, and then seeing how bloggers have tremendous value in the space. So that's a little bit about me. Here's my Twitter handle up there.
Hashtag Cincy blogging.
Cincy blogging.
I always forget if it's blogging or blogging. Cincy blogging, if you want a hashtag.
So I'm going to show you a video, and I want to ask you if you've seen it already. Let's see if we can make it play. Oh, sorry. Has anybody ever seen that video on Facebook? Mm-hmm. Did anyone share that video on Facebook? Thank you. So we have like 3 or 4, 5 people. That video has reached, that's old, 6.6 million views on YouTube. I'm sorry, on Facebook. Over 18 million people have seen it. Wow. It is really cool to see how video can play right across social. So that little video is actually what we're going to make today. We'll talk about like how to actually create video content that's easy, accessible. And I hear a lot of like confidence, willingness to get in front of camera. If only your hands are in videos or stop motion, something like that. It's a really great way to start video.
Do you do any paid advertising to boost that? Because I go viral.
Great question. So look at right there is the analytics. We paid $100 to boost it. You can see that little sliver right there. We reached about 50,000 people with $100. With some of my food content, and we'll talk about paid advertising in a little bit, I can get 0.001 cents per view. That's what I can get. So it's a really cheap way to get engagement on stuff because you don't have to. It's a more advantageous platform on Facebook at least. But yeah, so this is a good idea of good content and shareable content can really proliferate.
So upload that directly to Facebook for that.
We did.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about square versus rectangular and like why we do square. A lot of it, and I don't know if you're familiar with Apology and what they do. They do a lot of research around like the optimization of Pinterest and like how best to share on the Pinterest platform. And one of the things that they talk a lot about is what I do in traditional media, which is share a screen or above the fold kind of things. And so what I want to be able to do is if you have a rectangular video and you're on Facebook, you only have a thin space on your feed. If I were to expand that to square, I'd gain about a third of the screen space. Therefore, I have a lot more attention. I occupy more of your attention on the screen, and there are less opportunities for distraction, right? So we see that square videos perform better on Facebook. You can upload rectangular 16:9 video like you do on YouTube, but you absolutely see a lot better performance in square video. So does that help you a little?
Yeah, so you post it on YouTube and also directly on Facebook.
I do, and so I have a how about I crash out of this? See that? So I can find the presentation I want. One of our clients. I don't know how to get this to share.
Stop sharing and share.
Oh darn. Oh, you know what? I can do. I can just pull it into the presentation. That's really easy. So what you're asking is this question. Sorry. Size matters. So if you think feed structure, this will occupy more than this, but I shoot it in a way that is compatible on both platforms. I will then pull it into, I do all of my editing in iMovie. People are really surprised about that. Like I don't use advanced editing programs because I believe in efficiency. So I used to like edit in After Effects and some cool animation. You know what happened? Like I got so consumed and it took so long to produce good, what I would consider good content, that I said, like, why am I spending hours and hours and hours and hours to edit? So what I did is, and I'm going to do it today, I can film and edit a video in under an hour for food. And I can be extremely efficient. And that video that you watched has 6.6 million views was done in under 2 hours. So really efficient, yeah.
And I can only confirm you're able to shoot one video, use it for 2 different ways.
Correct, but you have to think about it. So like, if you look, and so I'm going to struggle to be able to show you this. This video, let's watch it again. If I cut off the edges, what happens? You just lose this section. So all I'm doing is trying to make sure that my entire, what I have filming is not outside of the square. So when I pay attention to that and really think through some of those challenges. Does that make sense?
So rather than filling the whole
Right, so let's
horizontal space, you're keeping everything that you were doing right center.
Right, so if you'd like to see what that sort of looks like, I'll bring in here. How do I share the screen like that? How do I control screen? Sorry, I'm not.
Stop share.
Okay.
Now shut.
Okay.
Let's
get it open. Just 1 second. Sorry, difficulties asking questions. So it's a good question you're asking, and I'm sorry that this is taking just a second. Why don't we get into it just a second, in a little bit, because I'll show you how to do it. But essentially, what I can do is I can open Adobe Premiere Pro, because iMovie can't disc a movie in a square, and so I decided to purchase Premiere Pro just to make things square. So what I do is I edit everything in iMovie and then bring in velocity. All right, so let's keep going. Why video? Video is becoming increasingly predominant. Your study probably can verify that the human attention span is fascinated by motion. The eye looks for motion in social feeds. We know that if we have any type of motion in kind of anything, it's extremely much more shareable. And video as a whole is growing as a content category. One of the challenges with video is that it's such a high barrier of entry, right? You know, with Instagram, everybody became an amazing photographer. It's true, right? Everybody became an awesome photographer. There's cool filters. With video, it's still challenging. Even with Vine, which makes it easier, even with Instagram, it makes it easier, it's still challenging to tell a story with video. And people get nervous and scared, and only the people who put a lot of effort, time, and energy into trying to make great content do really well. But as a whole, video is becoming increasingly powerful, and platforms are shifting. So Facebook is becoming increasingly dominant in the video space. There are some challenges with Facebook. People don't keep their audio on all the time on Facebook, so that's a challenge. But it's still definitely a place to be focusing on. YouTube is still a dominant space when it talks about video as in general. Want to see here? Okay. Sorry. So you see that Facebook is starting to overtake YouTube from a per post or upload standpoint.
Are you able to maximize your presentation? The size of it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Full size it.
There you go. Thank you. So Facebook is definitely overtaking YouTube in the amount of content posts happening. But some of the challenges for bloggers are we don't make any money on Facebook. Like when I upload my content to Facebook, I make $0. On YouTube, I make dollars because they have a revenue share. So as long as you connect your content to AdWords or AdSense, whatever I forget it is, I make dollars every month. You know, a couple $100 based on the amount of people that click on my videos, watch them, and so it is a problem. So content creators have been trepidatious about going to Facebook, but what I am seeing is that brands understand Facebook more than they understand YouTube. And so they're much more willing to promote content on Facebook than they are on YouTube. So it's just something to consider.
But you can monetize Facebook. I do that all the time.
You can, but like from my standpoint, I don't sell anything.
Okay.
So it becomes a little more challenging. But from that video, the only thing that's valuable to me is the like and the view, right? So visibility for a product or a brand that I'm getting. I don't sell anything, which I don't. I have a book that I sell, but it's not something that most people would want. It's a challenge from a content standpoint. Like I look at my content. I have over 700 posts. My content generates a tremendous amount of income every single month. $1,500 to $2,000 just on the ads and the revenue and the traffic that are coming in. So I look at content as an opportunity for me to continually get passive income. Facebook doesn't allow me to do that. So there's no income stream. Now, Facebook clicks through to the blog and then they click on an ad, then there's a different story. But it's a challenge from just sharing my content there. But I'll get into a little bit of what Facebook's been doing, and we've been seeing a lot of success on Facebook. So audio issues, only about 15% of people keep their audio on Facebook. You actually have to tap the video to get your audio. So a lot of people have talked about the era of silent video, how Facebook is changing the way we approach video and motion. But 95% of the YouTube audience has sound on. That's something that's really interesting and relevant.
Nate?
Yeah.
I think similar to what you were saying about optimizing for whatever platform, I think you have to think about the context. So what are most people doing when they're going to Facebook? They're just browsing, cruising, looking for whatever, they're bored. YouTube, they're going there to watch stuff and listen to it. I think that totally, just thinking about that way is like how you would create something different or make a different version.
So YouTube is not the first. It used to be that in video, you think YouTube only, and then you link. So like YouTube, you link it to Facebook. The challenge now is that Facebook punishes YouTube links. Absolutely. So if you share a YouTube link on Facebook, your post does not get as much organic reach as it would normally get. And so part of the challenge there is that they say, well, why don't you just upload it to Facebook, which is what we do, and we get a lot more visibility, a tremendous amount of visibility. Video is one of the best performing content categories over status updates, over photos, over links. Your video performs exceedingly well. So just to keep that in mind. It also should be customized for the platform. So if you want to use your phone, you can use your phone. Your phone can shoot in video in Square, so that's something to consider. Live is also now shot in Square. So Facebook Live is shot in Square. So that should tell you something about where video sizing is going. And sound speed and content should be sharing customized as well. The rise of stop motion. In my category, food, we see these are some of the dominant players, and you probably have seen them all over the place. Tasty has over 10 million views, and they've done it in 10 months. Holy crap, that's pretty amazing. Now they had a lot of, they had a great platform already. BuzzFeed is a massive place but they had a good idea, shareable video that doesn't require sound, and they do it in under a minute. So it keeps a lot of that, a lot of those attention spans that they need to get shareable. No sound required, extremely shareable. How do you do stop motion, which is what Tasty does, and 12 Tomatoes and Hip Hero and all the others. And what we do now is the camera never moves. It's one of the things that are some of the principles of stop motion. The camera, in order to create some type of animation or just some jumping, the camera can't move. You can have the audio on, you can have the audio off. Stop motion, it really just doesn't matter. Good, consistent light, which is something we do not have here today, but we'll fix that in post. And a good camera. So your iPhone can do some of this. The problem with your iPhone is it cannot be turned off manual mode, automatic mode. So it'll automatically customize the brightness of the screen depending on what's in the shot. So I always film all of my video in manual. I turn off all automatic filters and things. So I want to make sure that I can control the lighting and the structure of the video right on the screen, so that when I jump or cut, I don't have to worry about it looking weird. If you've ever seen a stop motion video that feels like the light's going all over the place, that's because they didn't change their automatic filters or settings on it. So the software I'm going to be using today, and we're actually going to be filming the video that you saw earlier and walking you through how we do it. And then I'm actually going to bring it into iMovie and edit it right now. And so software I'm using today is a Canon T3i. I am using an EOS utility on my computer that is free with the Canon camera. So when you buy a Canon, you have a CD, you just install the CD, there's an EOS utility that allows you to simulcast the camera to your computer automatically. It's super cool. And then I'm using iMovie, and I'm going to use Photoshop or PicMonkey, whichever one works. So my recommended things for video, I would strongly recommend a DSLR and not a video camera. There's a big reason for that. I can control the depth of field. I can make things blurry. I can make things look photographic without, without doing some of the stuff. Video cameras are great, but they do a lot of the automatic stuff for you. DSLRs are a lot cheaper too. So you can get one.
What is
$100. DSLR is digital. It's a digital, like a Canon T3i, Nikon. It's a point and shoot. Think point and shoot camera, but it's digital. Software that you can simulcast. So I prefer Canon because they have a really cool simulcast software that's free. I imagine Nikon has something, but I have no idea if they do or not. I use free iMovie for PC users in here. You can grab Filmora, which is essentially iMovie for PC. It's $49. It's pretty cheap. It has some great stock stuff. And then Photoshop or PicMonkey. PicMonkey is free, so we all like free. So you don't have to invest too much money. So let's create. So today, everything chopped and ready to go. What I'm going to do, see if I can get out of here. Stop sharing.
Are they recording this session or not? I don't know if they are or not.
How they're doing
It'd be nice for notes. Go back and.
So this is, I don't know if you can see it. You see this thing? You can't. Great, that's fine. So what we're going to do first, and I have a whole setup at my house, but because I couldn't bring the entire thing, I just brought what I have. So literally, I'm pretty low tech because I don't like this much. So this is how I hold my camera. On top of my little, I bought 2x4s, $20. This is some scrap, lumber that I got at Home Depot. I got for like $2, and then these are even stabilizers. And so I'm going to put it right there, so it's stable. Hopefully, I built a 2x4 setup. One of the keys of stop motion is always to make sure that the camera doesn't move. And then I'm going to bring our camera over here. You can see the camera.
Nathan, what are you defining as stop motion?
Stop motion you can do two different ways. Stop motion traditionally is the idea of taking lots of pictures and then animating them. I'm going to do a little bit of that, but I don't want to just take stills. I want to actually take video, and you'll see what I'm going to do today, and then grab that video and allow it to sort of animate itself without my hands in it. Sometimes I'll choose my hands in it, sometimes I won't. It just depends on what I'm doing. But it's a way for us to approach video in a way that's a little bit safer for us, right? I mean, some people don't like to be in front of the camera. I shoot on my videos, but sometimes I just like have a slimy t-shirt on. But guess what? You always see my hands. It doesn't matter. So there's a lot of great ways to do it. It's not only good for food, you can do it a lot of different ways. I heard somebody who's creating jewelry, you can create jewelry. It's just a different way to approach video. You can do it a different way, but I just want to sort of show you the way we do it. And then we can go from there. So one of the cool things about the EOS utility, I know you can't see this thing on the other side, but I can take pictures remotely from the camera. I can change the, I'll show you the different colors. Change the ISO, which is the, see that? I can change the f-stop, so we can make it brighter, or we can make it darker, reducing or increasing the f-stop. We also can focus. All right. So one of the things that we're going to do today, sorry, I'm going to make sure. All right. Because we don't have good light, you'll see some of the, what do you call it? I don't know what you call it. I'm starting to lose it. Noise in the video. But here's, and I don't even have very good goal, so that's, we're going to have some interesting time here. Okay, we will. So,
That's precious, brother. Doesn't get any better than that.
all right, so I'm going to hit the record button. I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, sorry, I can't see what you can see. And what I try to do is establish something like that's a clean slate so that you can see my shadows in here. If we had lighting, we could easily eliminate some of that, but we're going to enter our bowl. Now, what I want to make sure to do is to consider square. So I'm going to put it in the middle. And actually, when I first started doing this, I actually put masking tape on my computer so I can see where the square would be, because I didn't know what else to do. And then all we're going to do is add some of our ingredients. So first thing we're going to do, let's see if I can get away and pause the screen for a second. When you do stop motion, one of the things is to count to 5, because you need to be able to edit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the first ingredient, which is lime juice. And then I'm going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will allow me to be able to cut that piece in. Next what I'm gonna do
You
is
actually have to say it out loud.
I count it. If my wife is with me, I do because she likes to jump. She's the chef, so she does everything. She doesn't like the chef doesn't like. All right. Again, keep talking. Ask me if you're asking a question.
The reason you're waiting and counting is so that you can pull your captures out rather than
That's right.
taking your captures as you go.
So one of the challenges with stop motion is people go take lots of pictures, right? The problem is that most people do not have a remote control, which is what this thing is right here. They also don't have, so they end up having to touch the camera. That's a huge problem because you touch the camera, you move the camera. No matter how small you touch it, it is a big problem. So we don't want to touch the camera. And so I just hit video because it makes it really easy for me not to have to worry about ever touching the camera. And then I'll show you how fast we can edit it. Let's see if I got one. All right, so tiny. And then we're going to grab pepper. All right. But yeah, you're exactly right. What I'm doing here is just trying to establish a place where I know I can grab it. And in this instance, I'm stepping away significantly from the screen because I see that as I get closer, like I create shadows. And so I don't want to be able to, when I go backwards and edit, I know that I don't want to have that happen. So, and then, all right. All right, so the first thing we want to do is this is a zucchini noodle salad.
Are they always silent then?
So we'll talk about what you want to do here. We can do that in a second. So it's a great question. You can add narration over them if you want to. Most of the time stop motion, because traditionally stop motion didn't have sound because it was pictures, right? So the pictures would be brought with it. You know, maybe somebody animated a cartoon, they added the voice afterwards. So traditionally, this style does not have words with it. If you want to have words, you can. Let me add some of these. The other thing to notice is that I'm really trying hard not to use my bold, because that will be something that will be able to, I can consistently jump across the screen gap.
You should always take it down too.
I do take it down.
Yeah.
I do.
Can you focus on things like in post, or is it like the focus is what it is?
So some of the rules that I tried to, and a good videographer told me this, a good creative at an agency told me that if you have a good photo going in, it makes it a lot easier when you're in post. And so I try to have everything good here. It looks a little like washed out because again, our light's gonna be, I can fix some of that in post, but I generally on my videos do not touch color because my light is good at my house. Does that make sense? But to answer let's finish the answer to your question wherever you were about sound. You can always add sound afterwards. You can actually record it on your Mac if you want to narrate it. The challenge with sound is that on Facebook, no one listens. So maybe adding captions, things like that can solve some of those challenges.
But if you're going through all of this, why would you not also put it on your YouTube channel? And then you do need the sound.
So there you go.
I mean, I get more traffic on my YouTube channel than on shares on Facebook right now.
That's exactly right. So we shoot for
But I don't
both.
pay to play, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, we shoot for both. There you go. All right. We're still recording. We're 5 minutes in. I'm going to do something that is a little odd for most people maybe, but I'm going to hold the bowl and try to keep it as still as possible. And I'm going to go really slow when I mix. Not because there's a reason, but I can speed this up in post and when I'm starting to edit. But I don't want the bowl to move that much. I'm trying really hard to keep the bowl stable and still. And I'm making a huge mess. Sorry.
We allow dogs in this office, so I'm sure someone will be bringing their dog in and.
On Tuesday.
take care of it.
So let's start out, make it pretty. All right, let's get rid of it and let's get rid of all these asset mistakes. Sometimes I keep the mistakes, but I think that's it.
When Facebook shows a view, does that mean that they've had the sound or not? You don't know if they had the sound or not?
Oh, I'll get into analytics.
Okay.
So that's all that this is. It's simple. Now again, I made it easy because I already had all my stuff crafted. I knew what I was doing. So let's pull this. Let's go ahead and exit this out. Stop sharing.
Yep, you stop.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and get some of this out here. So I can get the camera off. By the way, some of the cool things I have here are automatic clicker. So if I want to take pictures, I can take pictures. Oh, well, let me take a picture on camera. It's part of my camera, but I can take pictures. I've done it a lot of different ways. Again, trying hard not to move the camera. So let's get some of this.
Would you normally go ahead and do your plating while you had your setup going?
Yeah, normally at the very end of that video you saw me plate it. Today I don't have a free plate, I forgot.
Nate, you don't even move the books.
Yeah, that was great.
Because I can see you're gonna get books
Cover.
collapse.
And if you guys want to pass this around, didn't really sell it. According to 6 million people. All right, so let's get some of the files. Get the file on the computer. Again, this connects directly to my camera. Great. You're asking what constitutes a view. Is that did I remember that correctly?
Yeah, because I know it's after 30 seconds. But
After 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
After 3 seconds, but Facebook will give you the views of how many people watched at 3 seconds, which is considered a view,
Yep.
at 10 seconds, and then they'll also give you the duration on how many people watched your video from a duration standpoint. Do they fall, how fast do they fall off? So that's really cool. We can show analytics here in a second. Actually,
You don't upload a YouTube video to your Facebook page, so are you just tying your channel, your YouTube channel in on your Facebook page, your bio, or?
So my YouTube channel is, so my blog, I acts essentially as the hub. So everything that you can connect with me on is from, most of the time, from my blog. And then you can click on Facebook. And then Facebook sort of acts independently. YouTube acts independently. What I try to do is share the best type of content for the platform. Does that make sense? So Facebook doesn't generally.
You're putting everything to your blog.
Yeah, so Facebook will link to my blog, and then if you wanted to go to the YouTube channel, you can go to the YouTube channel from my blog. There's no direct link to YouTube. Now on YouTube, there is a direct link to Facebook, but they have that option. All right, so let's pull this in.
Are you saying that you actually have all those videos on your blog? It's not just linked to the videos?
Correct.
So what are you doing to store all that data?
So they're embedded from platforms. So my blog embeds YouTube videos. So good example, my most recent post is a fried avocado or avocados of Mexico. That video lives on YouTube, lives on Facebook. Both of those platforms have the ability to upload or embed onto your blog, and you don't have to have space on your blog. You use their space. The good thing about that is that people have the opportunity to subscribe to your channel through annotation. So there's some great options. But let me pull this in here. I want to get into, how do I screen share again? Sorry, I'm like
That's fine.
technologically. You'll find soon that I'm not very savvy when it comes to.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It takes me a while to.
No one can do it all. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Thank you.
pick your things.
So I'll show you a couple of things that I'm working on right now. So this one is my little one's video. We haven't shared it yet. I'm not completely finished with the labels. But here's, you can see her hands are the ones sharing them. I'm holding the bowl so it stabilizes.
Oh.
All done in iMovie.
iMovie have their music as well.
Sorry?
They have music that's.
We'll get into music here in a second.
Okay. So that one zoomed in shot, would you just crop it? And
I
post?
did.
Okay.
So you want to see how I did that? So let's watch the end of it.
So what do you use for lighting at home?
I had 2 large fluorescent light boxes that I got off of Amazon. They're about $150. So
You're
that's.
upgrading. You
I
used to have
did.
all these clamp-ons.
I know. I used to have these clamp-ons from Home Depot that were $7, but then I didn't like it because I had to go buy those bulbs and they would burn out a lot. So I just said I'm just going to get the nicer ones.
Do you have a picture of that setup?
I can share on Facebook and agree with you.
That'd be great.
I also have a recommendation. Vicky's.
Oh, you asked me a question about how I zoomed in. So where was that spot? Right here. So this is actually the same shot. It looks like a different shot, right? You were asking. It looks different. I mean, like it's the same, but it zoomed in a little bit. So all I did was I went up here to crop, and I only grabbed the thing. If I were to pull it out, watch it now. See the bowl move? Oh, I hated that. So I'm like, oh! So I fixed that by cropping it in.
You're not OCD, are you?
So I fold it in this way, and then crop it, and then I come back. And then it solves that problem. And then it comes back, and so it's consistent.
Now everybody watches it. It's all they're going to think about.
So here's, go ahead.
Just one thing. So when I was at the Focus blogging conference that Vicki actually here helped organize, or worked for it, sorry. They had a sponsor called Shotbox. Anybody heard of Shotbox? It's a new product that came out basically
At the end of
6
last year.
months ago. Yeah.
How do you spell it?
And it's like Shot, SHOTBOX, Shotbox. And it's basically, it's $100 or $150 or something, but it's like a light box. And it's you can move the sides and top and put in different
Think of milk crate.
inserts.
Milk
Yeah, it's
crate,
not
milk
that
crate
small.
size with holes in various spots to put your camera through. It has LEDs inside of it
Right.
that you turn off
So you
and
put
on. So
the
it's
camera
pretty lit
here,
inside.
and it has a little like thing that you can just hold if you're using your iPhone. You can just hold it and then pose it all different. It's very dummy proof because I am a dummy when it comes to photography and video, and it really is pretty dang cool. So I would check it out, and the guy that created it is like a real guy that just
So
did it
you're
because he's
using
passionate.
LED lights.
Yeah.
Not
It was a
LED light
Kickstarter.
spinner.
And you can dim them and
Got me.
adjust them.
Do you find any problem with LED lights on being able to see the flicker rate when you shoot the video?
I haven't actually shot a video with it, so I can't speak to how good it is for shooting a video. I just can say it's easy.
They actually have a Facebook group where the guy who created it actually will help you troubleshoot if you're having some. There have been people who have said, you know, I've got this. They'll give them all sorts of suggestions.
So consistent light is the biggest challenge. It's one of the biggest challenges. Like people in photography, like, oh, natural light is the best. And I'm like, that's awesome. But when you shoot video, the stupid sun moves people. I mean, like, it messes, you'll see the sun move. So that it is a big problem. Like, it's clouds cover it, and then it changes the composition, and then it's awful. So, so yeah. All right, so here we have what I did in iMovie. And we'll go through some of the other videos we've created here that are in our draft process. But iMovie is a pretty simple program. If you're familiar with it at all, it is essentially the beginner version of video editing. And I am not a creative person by nature. My wife is the one that sort of is the creative person. I like to do like the editing and the filming, some of that stuff. So iMovie fits me a lot better because there are a lot less options to screw up stuff. But there also is a lot less control than maybe like something like Pro or After Effects or Final Cut. So I bring my movie right in here. And you can see I can sort of scroll along it. If you can hear the sound, to get rid of the sound, you can sort of hover right over here, drag it down to 0. So that the whole video now has no sound. The color is a little off, so let's fix the color. We can go here, right here. And let's see what we can do to make the color better. That's too much. Let's see if we can add some blue to it.
Now, does that adjustment go cross board on all?
It does, across the entire, before I cut it. So it's one consistent clip, so I'm cutting it. I'll cut it here in a little bit, but I'm changing the color right now. That actually looks a little more natural. See if we can fix the light. Oh, there we go. See if we can bring it just a touch. There we go. So let's do that.
Do you find doing it all in one shot is a big advantage to adjusting the light and everything, and then cutting it in different spots versus having different frames? You can adjust that frame only.
Right. Well, because it's stop motion, I don't want to adjust one frame. I want to adjust all of it at once because I want to feel like it's consistent. So, but yes, there's an advantage to that. Again, it's come back to control and like your objective. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do it. So I'm going to click right here, split clip, delete. Let's find where the bowl is introduced. We're going to find the bowl right there. So let's just bring the bowl in. Step out, split the clip. Let's look what that looks like. Great. Reduce this time to half a second. Make it feel a little bit faster. Now let's watch it. Sorry.
What do you find that's long or short?
So animation is anywhere from a tenth of a second to a second. Sometimes 2 seconds, depending on if you have text, you have a lot of text you need to read. But you'll see the clips are a lot of jumping. So let's bring this in. It's on my hand. Slip the clip, and let's wait till I come out. So all I'm doing is I'm splitting the clip. And now, because this is 3.5 seconds, let's reduce this down to a second. This is 3.5 seconds, it's too long. So I'm gonna click up here. I can't cut it anymore, right? Because that's the actual time that it took me to get my hand and add the ingredient. I'm gonna speed it up, click fast. So I click the time, click the little clock, and I have an option of 2, 4, 8, or 20. At 20 seconds, it's 0.2 seconds. At 2 seconds, it's, I'm sorry, times 2, it's 2 seconds. So let's watch it now. My little clicker over here. There we go. So now let's find the next ingredient. All right. Flip your clip.
So you're trying to aim between a tenth of a second to a second?
Yeah, generally. Sometimes it'll be 2 seconds. Once you start watching it, you'll see like immediately what works and what doesn't for you. I'm just splitting the clips and trying to add stuff in here. Now, because I added that weird looking bottle, it looks bad, I'm just going to bring in after I leave the clip. And then there's pepper. I don't want to show me sprinkling the pepper, so I'll do that. And where's the salt? I will show me sprinkling the salt. Where's my hand?
So you record an entire video and then cut out the dead airspace.
I do. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I'm doing. That way, I don't ever touch. And look, watch the bowl. The bowl doesn't move. So if we had good, consistent light, I could easily make this feel like it's really like the video that you saw earlier. So this is 8 seconds. It took me 8 seconds to add that. Actually, too long. But see how the water's moving? Like that's. I'm like, oh, I don't want. I want to be able to jump it like that nicely. So I'll speed this up 4 times.
Where are you seeing the 8 seconds on the screen?
So right here, I'm hovering over. Do you see that 4.2? Watch, that's where I'm watching the amount of time that I think each individual clip is taking. So right now, this is 3.9 minutes. If I go backwards and have no speed on this one, it's 8.4, I'm sorry. So I'm going to change the speed, add it fast, times by 4, and now I'm at 2.3 seconds. Here's 3 seconds. So you just be consistent. Do a custom at 150%. That's 2 seconds. So now let's watch what we've done.
Now, depending upon how much text we wanted to add on it, we might have to extend the hover time.
Yeah, so I usually leave a second for text. I don't care if you can read it, you can pause it. A lot of people do, like when we have viral videos go, people are like, do you have the recipe? And so we put it in like the comments. So it'll put link to it interesting.
So Nate, I actually cooked dinner off of
It
one
takes
of
years,
these
yeah.
videos. The other night, I was looking through Facebook, not thinking about dinner, and saw these videos, and went, "That's what we're having for dinner." But because there was no recipe of it, I had to like keep pausing it
Yeah.
right down. Because otherwise, I had to keep watching it on my phone in the kitchen.
Yeah, and that's, I'll tell you that we used to put the mise en place recipe at the beginning. Those videos do terribly. Because people want to see it and then get out. And if they're interested, then awesome, they'll stay around, they'll share it, they might save it for later on Facebook. But when I would mise en place at the beginning, which is essentially laying out all my ingredients, like showing how to make the recipe, people didn't care. They want to get into it as fast as they can and they get out.
Does Facebook have a drop-down menu like YouTube does where if you want to attach links and make recipes?
They do.
Awesome.
What? News to me.
When you do these, you get the final product all together, so you should aim for a set amount of time.
Under a minute. Who asked that question? Yeah, under a minute. There's a reason for that. If you look at the leader, the category leaders, tasty, 12 tomatoes, everything is under a minute. Sometimes there'll be a minute plus, but not much further than that. Again, there's attention span. It comes back down to people get intimidated by long videos. Right?
That's not why they're there.
And so that's exactly right. And so they want something that's interesting, but they can consume quickly. We used to do 2-minute videos, and they did not as well as the 45-second ones.
I could see you doing this kind of video with like a makeup tutorial.
Yep.
Or organizing, like show someone how to organize your shelves, or you can just basically do stop motion and you doing all the work and squeeze it into
Right,
one
like DIY projects, you can do art. Like we had an artist come. Like I'll show you a really cool video later. Hannah drew. We do a lot of new business at my agency. I can find it.
How long a video can you post on Facebook?
I'm sorry.
How long can your video be to post on Facebook?
I've never seen it. I've never been declined, but you can. I think I've seen upwards of an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's YouTube has some limitations on how you become a partner. I think it's 15 minutes, right? But I can post as much as I think it's like 2 hours, something crazy. But and it's just. Oops, so let's grab this. Let's see where I stopped. Out. This is the fun part, and then I'll just make sure. All right.
Nate, have you ever done an animated GIF with just the pictures?
I have. I actually turned one of my videos into an animated GIF, because I know because somebody wanted one of the brands that I was working with said we really want an animated GIF. I said, that's so dumb that I'll do it.
Wait, brands are dumb sometimes? No.
So there's a lot of GIF generators that you can use. If you have a video file, you can turn it into a GIF.
But you know where
Why
gifts
did
are
they
really
want that?
awesome? Is in email.
Yeah.
So in email, you can send somebody an email like your list. And if you have an awesome video, you want to kind of tease the video, the animated GIF, it kind of starts playing when they open that email.
That's cool.
And then
That's a really
there's a
cool
little,
idea.
there could even be a little play thing on it to say, let's play this. And when they click that, then they would play the actual. So,
That is a really cool idea. I love that.
thanks.
The question there raised in my mind is if you're going to do something as posting that to Facebook, linking it over to YouTube, and there for monetary reasons.
Right.
Can you show us backwards?
All right, so here is, and let's make sure this is a long piece. This is where I'm stirring. So let's go backwards. If we watch this, again, there's some differences in lights, just forgive that. I'm really slow here, right? It's a minute long that I'm stirring. So let's really speed this up to 20. Now let's watch it. Oh, look. What happened? Bam, done. So let's watch. Let's bring this down to down to.
You can apply those speeds to different chunks of video.
You can.
So.
All right, so let's watch this now. It's 25 seconds. Okay. So someone asked earlier about music. So let's select some music. So there's a couple places you can go for music. And how do I stop sharing? Screen share. So here's a place that I like to go for music. With music, you need to make sure that you have royalty-free music. It's absolutely critical, because if you do not, you will be, you could have your content taken down on YouTube. Your rights, the rights of to earn money on your YouTube videos will be given to the owner of the music, not the content creator. So there are a lot of dangerous things when you don't get royalty-free music. So you definitely want to get royalty-free music. Let's search, what would we call something like this? Let's make it like cheerful. It's the kind of music maybe we want to add to this video. Yeah, what? So
Which site are you on?
I'm on a site called audiojungle.net, which is a part of the InBottle market. So it's a royalty-free place. You can get music for anywhere from $10 to $20. You can buy music packs. This is what I do a lot, buying packs of music in different scents. So you get it for like $30, you get 3 songs. But today I'm gonna go through, I use another couple of sites. If you Google royalty-free music for YouTube creators, there are a lot of sites out there that are free. You need to credit the creator of the music, but that's an option. A lot of the brands that I work with do not want any credit outside of their brand. So I use Audio Jungle a lot. I find myself here often because they want me to buy the rights to the song so they can use it for advertising. But so we'll go here. And so here's the cool thing. Let's hear, watch the music and the song. Do you think this would fit the video? Sure. So here's another one. So if we think this one works, let's see, let's download the preview track. All right, let's go back. Let's see if this one, what do we think about this one? What's this one? Like this one?
Yeah.
All right, so let's grab that one. Download the preview. All right. Pause. Let's stop sharing. All right, so let's bring in our 2 preview tracks. We have 2 preview tracks. We're going to bring them in here. I'm just dragging them from like whatever program, whatever like the Finder or Windows Explorer, whatever it is. So which one is this one? Well, let's watch this one. Let's see if we think this is the right music for this. All right, now let's delete it. Bring in the other music track. Which one do you think is better?
That
This one? Okay. So now we want to be able to tell people what we're making. So let's go ahead and grab
And you can use the preview version free.
the preview version. No. So the preview version only allows me to get an idea of what it would look like in my composition. If you hear, listen to this. Audio jungle. That is in your preview version. So that is designed so that you can't just rip it off. So it's like a watermark for audio. So when you buy it, which I actually own that song, I will put it in here for you. I like that song a lot. Audio. When you own that song, no audio jungle. So we'll keep it in there. Okay, so where am I at here? All right, so let's come back to stop share. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot this little piece right here. You can't see it. Can you see what I'm doing? You can't. I screenshotted this little area, the bowl, and I'll show you why here in a second. I'm going to go stop share, go to Chrome.
Tell me your Firefox. I think I
Okay. PicMonkey. You see in here? All right. Click edit. The very first thing I want to do is bring in a transparent image. So I'm going to open a transparent image. That's 16 by 9, fits the video. And it's empty. So there's nothing there. So what I'm going to do now is bring in the image of my bowl. So I'm going to click the butterfly. I'm going to click the your own image. Bring in the bowl. All right, just bring the bowl here. All right, here we go. Make it as big as the screen. Why this is an ugly image?
What app are you doing this on?
I'm doing it all on PicMonkey, which is completely free. PicMonkey.
Just so you can do a character generation on top of it.
I'm sorry?
Just so you can do a character generation.
Yeah, I want to get some context to what my video will look like. So I'm going to bring this screenshot in just to give you an idea of where I should put my text. That's all I'm doing. So now I'm going to add my text here, and by clicking the text tool, I'm going to click my fonts. Let's use Abraham. So the very first thing I'm going to do is add text.
I know some people that use this to do memes also. Facebook.
And so I'm going to do juice of 1 lime.
Are you using this because instead of iMovie because font choices? You want more font choices, or?
I'll show you here in a second. It's a great question. iMovie does have the ability to do this, but not in the way you want it to. I'll show you here in a second. So this is I would say, the harder way to do it. Should I do black or white? Black text, white text.
Black.
Black? Okay. Now what I'm going to do, now that I know the position of the bowl, I'm going to delete this back here. Save. Juice. Oh, hold on, I can't. Stop sharing. So, and then we have the text of juice of 1 lime. So I'm going to bring it down to the clip. It snaps to the clip right there. Awesome. Now let's watch it. It moves. That's a default in iMovie. It's called Ken Burns. So you have to click up here and click crop to fill. Now let's watch it again. Ah, beautiful. Now you asked the question why I'm not using the titles in iMovie, and I'll show you why. So here's the titles that I have an opportunity to use in iMovie. We'll review them really quickly. Over here. So here's one title. We can look at. Sorry. So if we come up here, you can see what they look like. They come in, you can see how they animate. Problem with titles is they are fixed. You cannot move them from where they start. You can change the title. So let's use this title. Say I wanted to use this title for the next one. All right. Can I move it around? Oh no, I can't move it on the video. I select it and move the title up here. Nope, can't do that.
Okay, I use Camtasia, so it's not one limitation I don't have.
Yeah, so it's a challenge. iMovie standard stock titles I cannot move. That drives me insane. I'm a control freak. So let's call this easy zucchini noodle salad. Let's add the fonts I like, which are Abraham. Oh, I can't even use Abraham.
Why do you pick Abraham?
It's just a font for, I work at a branding agency, and so my brand online, I use specific fonts so that people can associate, and just like you would think, like Coca-Cola uses very specific styles and fonts and reds and colors and happiness. Like my blog has built out a brand character and all of these things, and how we write and what we say and what we share, and all of those things are built in. So Abraham is one of the fonts we use on a consistent basis. But I can't use it here because for some reason. So let's move that title to the beginning. Let's bring it in here. Wow. And here we go. So I can't fix that animation. See how, so it actually needs more time. So we have to expand that. Let's expand this. And now it needs like 5 seconds. Let's watch it again. I can't fix that because it's standard animation. So that's why I don't like to use iMovie's stock stuff. If you want to use it, it's easier, more power to you. Go ahead.
With the juice of one lime, I noticed on the first video, you kind of went to the curve. Can you do that with PicMonkey as well?
Yeah, I cannot do that.
Cannot.
I cannot.
Oh.
I cannot snap. I think Canva, you can snap, you can curve
I don't
text.
think you can. I use Canva all the time.
You can. So I have just recently started moving to Photoshop because I want that curve.
Yeah.
And it's weird, but I want to be able to do a curve. So
Do you watermark at all, like your an emblem or some kind of trademark or something like that?
on videos,
Yeah.
oh, you want to see what I'm starting to do? So hold on, I'll show you. I think this is my ask.
And do you have any tips on doing that so it's not going out too much?
Good question. I don't remember which one I'm talking about. So hold on. Testing. So the blog is in the process of a huge rebrand. The company that I work for is the creatives are excited about doing all this stuff, and I do all these cool videos, and so they're some of my best critics and best advocates, and so two of them are helping me with a new logo, a new style, and a brand for video. Because before I just sort of threw it together and said, I don't care, it's on my YouTube channel, it's obviously me. So this is the new, I'll let you watch it until the end of 37 seconds. This one actually is publishing tomorrow. It's sticking a little bit just because of iMovie. All that cool animation, like it appearing in the bowl, is just because I didn't move the bowl, and that's all cut. I'll show you how to do it here in a second. And here's the branding at the end. That's it. So it's one bite. So you see the little bite marks of the teeth, and that's the other blog I'm working with on specific.
So it's interesting to have it at the end.
Yeah, I found that logos, we've done a lot of testing on brand content, And logos diminish share and reach of content by up to 30%. Wow. So it is a challenge because there's something to be said about a brand and like logos, but like the good brands, what they do is you can notice it's theirs without it being. So it's a challenge, but that's like what we want. It's kind of like a, yeah, and actually the logo is going to be a circle and a pipe's going to come around.
Would you repeat what you said? It reduces, what reduces 30%?
So when you add a logo to your content, at least on Facebook and on Instagram, we've seen in the video content that it reduces the reach of the content up to 30%. Yeah.
And I would add that on Pinterest, our company does a lot of, Ahology does a lot with Pinterest, and we find that when content looks like it came from a brand, it performs significantly worse than content that looks like it came from Wannabe. Right. Because it looks like real content that I want to look at, not an ad.
Right.
So the best brands are creating content either with people like Nathan or on their own, but it looks like real content. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't have logos crap all over it. That just makes people turn off. They just turn it off.
So this is a good example if you guys want to see like cutting. So I'll pull this forward, but if you watch this, I cut a lot of this out. You see how I'm adding the, notice where I added the, I physically added the, right there, and there's there. See all that time in between? So I fixed that by just changed it to 1/10 of a second. And it doesn't film it really good because it's sticking a little bit, but it'll, when it actually gets exported, it'll like just, it's kind of cool. Yeah. It took a lot of time to do that. Anyway, let's go back to our project. All right. Okay. So that's how, like from a like a text standpoint, PicMonkey is a great option, and I would normally just add the text here. So, do you have any questions? Analytics. Do you guys want to see some like analytics stuff on? Okay.
What do you have to do to render that?
Great question. To render it, right up here, upper right-hand corner, hit the button, click File, and then we're going to do Ahology. We're going to do it at a low resolution. So it goes quickly. Normally, you'd want to do it at the highest resolution, which is 1080. It takes longer. So this little pie chart up here will be tell you when it's done. Yeah.
How do you store your videos? Because mine take up so much space. And it drives me
So
crazy.
you know, like I have a MacBook Air, which only has 250 gigs on it, and it's technically my work computer, so like half of it's work files. So I invested in a 5 terabit external hard drive. It was $109 on eBay from Best Buy. Best thing I ever did. Every video has its own folder. All the I not only do I film video, but once I'm done with filming video, I take photos. I actually do a little mini photo shoot with food. And so all of those raw files are also on there. So I don't lose it. Technically, you can download your YouTube videos once, like if you've ever deleted them, you can download them. There's some services. So if you ever upload a video, I can rip it and download it and upload it to Facebook. But I can do it if I wanted to. But yeah, and so it's for 25% export right now. Yeah, so any other questions?
You said in the beginning that on Facebook you want it to be square. Does that happen in the editing process? Is that?
Good question. So this is, as you can see, a 16:9 video. I would have to pull it into Adobe Premiere Pro and force trim it because there's no real way for me to trim it in this way. So I pay, I don't remember how much I pay for Premiere Pro, but I pay for Photoshop on Premiere Pro. And literally the only thing I know how to do in Premiere Pro is to change the edit size of the video and export it. So, but that's the only thing I do there. And if I can
Can you crop it in iMovie?
iMovie cannot crop the size of the video. Not that I know. If they can, that's great. I'd love to learn that so I can So iMovie is a very basic tool that serves a purpose, but it has some limitations. But I still like to work in iMovie, even though I
Can you see like a finished blog post that you've done to where it would have like the images you use probably from the photo shoot you mentioned, and maybe how you get that information on Pinterest or wherever, how you like tweak things to fit your blog homepage or like the home base of your blog and to fit each media that you might share it on, that somebody else might share it on.
Let's stop sharing. Okay. For some reason, the ad is not displaying. That's not good. Here's fried guacamole balls. So there is a picture from what we take almost static photography.
And you do that in like a light box as well.
So I do everything like in I built that table that you see as a farmhouse table. I built myself into 5/6s, beat it with chains and like scraped it with knives, then stained it, put oil on it, like buffed it out.
Did you do a video of that?
I did. That'd be a fun video. But this is essentially what it would look. This is how it looks. And so like blog posts is I think like my wife wrote all this stuff. We love Mexican food, and so like here's the. So if you want to watch the video, you can watch it on our blog. And there you go. If you were not a subscriber, you can hover over this and subscribe. Right there. There's another ad from YouTube. And you can see like how it integrates. You can continue on, watch the rest of the photos, read the blog post, pick the ingredients, and share it that way. From a Facebook standpoint, that blog post was shared. Oh, by the way, who knows that Facebook has a business manager? Awesome. So if you click right here, Facebook turns gray. Yay, Facebook just turned gray. So I use Business Manager for all of my pages. It allows me to have absolute and utter control of ads. It's business.facebook.com. If you have a Facebook page, you can run Business Manager. It's super cool. But let's see if I can find that video.
While you're looking for it,
Yeah.
I just want to tease next month's meetup. We're gonna have to wrap this up pretty soon because my kid's almost done with a birthday party. And I have to get them leave her on the doorstep. And the next meetup is going to be on Tuesday, June 28th. It's a weeknight one, 6 p.m. Here. The topic will be Google Analytics. And the speaker is one of the masters of Google Analytics, Joe Robb, he's the digital marketing manager for Smart People. He's also just got back from Google I/O. So he actually went to the Google conference where they tell him all the cool stuff. So he is going to bring a lot of that juicy stuff back. Plus, he's just been an analytics guru for years. And so he's going to come and just show us, like, what the heck do you actually do with Google? And I said, by the way, Nathan could probably do that also. However, I wanted to spread the love. I didn't want to every month be the Nathan show, how great that would be. But
We're gonna have Susan downtown because me, Joe, all Joe and I were in the same building.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll go sometime.
Well,
Joe's on 3, I'm on 5.
maybe we'll change the venue. We'll talk. Okay. So I hope you guys can make it to that one. I think it's going to be really interesting. I know I've been using Google Analytics for years, and I still have very little clue. I know I could do more with it. And I think that's it. Okay, go ahead.
Last but not least, so video, if you want to look at like some of the opportunities for like stats on your videos for Facebook at least, unique views, you can see like paid organic, it breaks it down.
Just Business Manager?
This isn't Business Manager, but I think you also can look at it just normally on your page. Okay. The video views, it will break it down like by day, like how is it doing. 10-second views we talked. So video views is a 3-second view. 10-second views And then the cool one is during average completion, which is actually a graph of when people fall off. So at this point in my video, so I have like a little drop, and if you watch this, like it drops, and then I get into it. So so people watch the drop, and then once I start sharing, they're like, okay, 40% went out, 30%, and went out. Right there. And then as soon as I start showing the finals, they start dropping off a lot. So, you idea what that looks like. Average retention is 50%. That's fantastic. Retention rates or average completion rates range from anywhere from 18% down. 18% I think is average. You can get a lot lower than that. Go ahead.
Do you see the curve on that similar to your other videos?
Yes. If it is a long intro, I see hard fall. So intros, videos, absolutely. Get into it fast. See, I do not know, so this is not a normal peak. So you see that peak up? That is actually an indication of a repeat watch. Usually you see fall off. So I'll see if I can find one.
You think that repeat watch is triggering where we have to go, we're scrolling down, we see it, but now we gotta go back and tap it?
Yeah, click
So
to watch.
now we're a repeat.
Not only that, YouTube will tell us that. So it will tell us how many people click to watch. So you want to see how many people actually tapped your video and watched it. Average completion rate, clicked to play, 7%.
The completion rate, literally completing the entire video, or is it?
It's an average. As an average.
But I mean, like it's like the end of the video, not a minute in. I mean, it's
Right.
literally the whole
It is the end of the video. So, and I actually only spend about $5 to $10 on video reaches, and this is how many people I reach for $5 to $10. You want to go into Business Manager? Let's see.
Have you ever tested moving your logo to the front then? If all these people are dropping off, they never see?
It's a good question. I'm not concerned about the logo. I never have been. As a consumer, I don't care generally about brands. I care what they like. And so if I look at it that way and say I want my logo to be front and center, I'll see such great drop off. What I look at is the opportunity for Facebook. I want shares because in shares I can get a lot of likes out of that. And then people will continue to repeat and continue to see the content. So we've been sharing video. Wrong business.
I was thinking in terms of how do people get to your blog if they want to, if they want to look at the ingredients and have it easier to print out and that kind of thing.
That should be in the post, like a copy of the Facebook post or the comments of the Facebook post. It's a good idea. So I've spent over the last 7 days $35 on Facebook. I have 802 new likes, which is, we're doing really well right now. 120,000 have been reached, and that's organic and paid. And 5,800 people have engaged in some way. So if you want to look into the account itself, I do like a lot of audience research and like demographic testing. So I haven't spent that much money, so I want to make sure that my money goes really far. But I target I create custom audiences, look at like my people who watch 95% and create audiences. Yeah, so that's, if you get an idea, I'm at 0.002 cents per view, just not that. And for $10, I got 5,600 views. And the sponsored post paid $400. So that's not a bad deal.
What do you mean by sponsored posts?
So, good example. I'll show you that.
But those are sponsored posts, right? You're sponsored.
We do about 50% sponsored posts. So I do non-spons. So I call them non-sponsored posts. So if you see this one, Cookies and Cream is a non-sponsored post. I still boost it because there's value.
Yeah. Okay.
And visibility. Yeah.
Well, and too, Facebook, once you boost something, it kind of carries over.
That's
So
right.
then if you don't boost it, then your stuff drops off.
Yeah, so if you look at so I actually was doing a non-spawn testing right here, testing like different demographic groups. So I was running 2 ads concurrently. And this one was at 1 cent. This was at 200ths of a cent, or 2,000ths of a cent. This was at a cent, whatever this is, hundreds. So this was a lot cheaper to boost than this one was. Same content, different target. So I'm testing it to see which one responds better to the content. This one's doing better, so I'm going to continue that one.
Wait, can you go back to if you stop boosting it, drop, wait, what was that part?
So Facebook looks at content and says, all right, if you don't boost your content, you're not going to get any Google at all.
You're not gonna
So, visibility. So your organic reach is affected by the amount of money you put in. So even spending $5 or $3 triples oftentimes your reach.
I spend $3 a lot on just stuff that I think is important. And then that kind of boost carries over the next couple of posts afterward.
Yeah.
So like if you spend a little, it's like, oh, we like you. We're gonna give you a little extra cookie here, and then it drops off again.
Yeah, so we see, and so I consistently, and again, I look at it as a business. So if you're doing it, it's just fun. It's maybe a little different story, but like the video, in general, perform a lot better than a picture will. But I'll spend $5 or $10 and get visibility on a piece of content, and then I can then pitch to brands like, hey, we got 20,000 views on a video. If you look at just the value of that from a brand standpoint, they're like, wow, this blogger is really doing well. And they have it put together and they know what they're doing. And so
I got called by Facebook by an ad manager and so had a couple of meetings with her on the phone, and she sent me information and told me how to do Facebook better and all that stuff. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking to me about. She did.
So there's a lot of value in Facebook advertising.
I do. I do it.
It's business manager, business.facebook.com. That's what we use. I do a lot of testing to see what, we spend a lot at my work, $3,000 or $4,000 a week. So see some of the stuff.
Do you find there's a certain point within the week or like time of day that's a better post for Facebook versus YouTube versus?
Question. So I create 3 to 4 videos a week now. I find that my Monday videos on YouTube do a lot better than my Friday, Thursday, or Friday videos. On Facebook, the weekend is always better.
Okay.
People have time to actually pay attention. They'll come back, stay there. It's probably different for every single industry. I manage 10 Facebook pages at work that have to combine probably 4 million followers. If you look at the peak activity for all of those followers, it's 9 p.m.
It's 9 p.m.
9 p.m. So I don't know if that means something, but so yeah.
You had mentioned artists or previously, like when you're starting out. With the, do you think time lapse or the stop motion would be a better format as far as art?
Art. So I wish I could find it because I think I put it on my drive and I haven't since left it. It's now gone from my computer. But my daughter did. We were pitching a school bus brand here in Cincinnati. You're familiar with private outsourcing options, and so they do some real testing. I probably have on my computer. Just give me 1 second to show it to you. And then we'll probably wrap up. But it's different than food. Yes, I have it. Over, stop sharing. Stop sharing.
Nathan, do you speak anyplace else?
I do.
Give it up, brother. Give it up.
I depends on what it is. So hold on, let me show you this first. So here is a good example of how content can be changed. So First Student is the brand. That's a really cool Masterpiece Monday where they get kids to create static pieces of content. They got 5 likes. Like, guys, look, we can make this really cool. Here's how you do it. Let's make a GIF. And so, and it won't play it. Hold on. See if we can get it to play. There you go. It actually stops and picks up the kids. So, and it's a way to animate kids' art, makes it move, right? So, and it gets a lot of visibility. Here's the other one. Motion expansion. So how do we bring like some of this emotional content to life? And so my little one in our studio created her version of the school bus.
And that's still stop motion.
Huh?
That's still stop motion.
It's still stop motion. I think it's a different way for you to articulate this, what your vision of what you're doing.
But you did that the same way that you did the food one.
Everything same way. I'll edit it in iMovie. Yeah. So it's a different way, different concept, but still like art can easily be articulated this way.
So is that something that you pitched to them for an ad, or is that something that they asked you to create?
So my agency, we do social management as part of an extension of what we do in branding. And so companies will pay us to manage their social presence, create the content on our creative department. We have a huge studio in the agency that will film some of the stuff. The creatives, like creative department people, like the artists and things, draw some of the stuff out and film it, and then we'll edit it. And then I will take it and apply it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then use a dollars budget to target the right consumer. So
You just said something. Emotion does something. What was it?
motion captures the attention of people. Like we notice that if you have something that moves, even if it's at like school bus, like sort of it's a GIF moving automatic, like it just captures the attention. It makes people stop and look. That's powerful, right? So if it's shareable, we can do a lot of value and get a lot of leverage from that kind of content.
I call it power control.
That's right. All right. Sorry, we're running a little late. I think Susie's turning around. So, if anybody wants salad? Yeah,
Those are nice.